Welcome back everyone to episode 2 of Kenshi becoming king. Last time we met Blacktooth and he recruited a few people in his city of Stack, now making way out of Stack to go to the hub, as he had heard from ever since he was a kid that the hub was a great place to trade with lots of people and a better economy. After about 2 weeks of collecting cats, Blacktooth, Zula, O'Kern, and Glass all had pretty fair stats, at least better than the average starving bandit. It would allow them to travel a bit faster and hold their own. Making their way into the border zone, the map goes from more of a red tint into more of a brown, dusty look, as the Holy Nation lands had probably been tainted by blood at this point. Blacktooth had never traveled to the hub though. All he knew was to follow the road and watch out for any starving bandits, when suddenly a pack of about 10 starving bandits started to approach Blacktooth and his group. "Hand over all your food. Your cats. Drop them. We aren't fucking around. We're fucking starving and need it. Give it now." At that point, Blacktooth and the group had just begun combat with a pack of starving bandits. Being circled by starving dykes hitting him with sticks and shooting at him, he would stand no match for the group along with his companions, as they would one by one fall to the fearsome female starving bandit group. After knocking out Blacktooth and the others, the starving bandits just made their leave, not even picking up any loot. Blacktooth realized at this point he couldn't even fight starving bandits. He would actually have to wait for them to make their leave in order for him to get up safely and bring his people to the hub. Upon getting up though, he's pretty cocky, claiming invincibility with that strength stat of 40 of his. Him and O'Kern would both wake up and start to patch up Zula and Glass, picking them both up and bringing them to the hub. As they had already made it more than halfway, it wouldn't be too far of a distance to travel, but with how unpredictable the wasteland can be, anything could really happen. Another group of starving bandits walked by, but luckily they turned the other direction that Blacktooth and O'Kern were coming from. They had almost reached a bar just on the outskirts of the hub, when suddenly a group of Holy Nation outlaws came up to them and attacked them. This was not good, and as they already had pretty deep wounds, Blacktooth would be knocked out in one hit, with O'Kern getting knocked out in about 2 as well. It was a rough day for our group. It would be quite a bit of time until we could start to survive these battles and even take out a few of them with us. Just being mere seconds away from the bar though, it was quite a pain in the ass. But after a few hours, Okura luckily woke up and picked up everyone and would bring them to the bar slowly. After another few hours had passed, everybody had healed up and was ready to make it to the hub. Being only a couple minutes away from the bar, they made it to the gate and could finally feast their eyes upon the glorious hub, excited to see what was all here, what shops lied ahead, and what buildings were all there. They'd quickly be matched with disappointment as they got in and looked around. No, this can't fucking be it. No. The entire hub was basically rubbish. Almost every house was in ruins and only a couple bars were there, with traders and other groups. "Excellent job, Blacktooth. You've once again almost led us to fucking poverty. Fantastic." Now it's not that bad though, as Blacktooth would get his group to approach a house and look at it and see if he wants to buy it. "It's not that bad. Look, we could fix up this place right here, make our own little shop. The guy in front of her has like a 4K bounty." Blacktooth, not giving a fuck, would of course buy the house for very cheap and be able to repair it throughout the next couple days. Heading into the bar though, the bar would have very low amounts of materials, but just enough to manage to build the house. And with that, Blacktooth's first estate in the hub had been built. First priority of events was placing down a research bench number 2, as well as fitting a copper storage beside it. We can now begin mining and researching. Blacktooth and Zula would go and man a copper ore, as they had about 60s in laboring at this point. And Glass and Okura would be to look around the hub, as I noticed there was a lot of fighting going on. What ended up happening was a group of Holy Nation crossed paths with Holy Nation outlaws. This would only lead to our favor though, as both groups would be taking out numbers on each side. Glass would pick up the bodies and bring them beside a house, where he could drop them and no one could see him loot the bodies for all of their gear. It was this way that we did get quite a bit of stuff. New backpacks, lots of loot, some great weapons, an amazing looting haul. Although once detected, we did end up taking out. Getting back to the house, they had quite a bit of loot from both Holy Nation and outlaws. This would definitely net them quite a bit of profit. and being that it took little to no skill to get, it was quite easy to grab. Once selling everything though, we had amassed 34,000 cats. Inside of a house, there's a naked holy priest fighting our group. He was causing quite a shitstorm, to be honest. This would then lead to more groups coming in to attack us. With us standing pretty good against the first one, we did manage to take him out, but Blacktooth and others had pretty severe wounds at this point, and once the naked holy priest had arose, his martial arts skills were fucking insane. Even Blacktooth would just be led to be smashed into a corner where he would take damage on almost all of his limbs. There was little to no mercy for the group for what they had done by looting. They would have to spend a good portion of the day resting and healing up. Zula would be the first one to wake up though and patch up everyone. Now once Blacktooth had got up, he started to make his way to the bar. And the past couple days had not been that great for him. He had been wiped out by starving bandits, as well as knocked out by just about anyone that would try to fight him and his group. He wanted more people, so he sent Zula to look for a fifth member. It was when Zula met a girl by the name of Yunomi in the bar. She asked excitedly, "Let me join." "Hold on, what's your name?" "I'm Yunomi, come on, let me join." "Wait a minute, what's your story?" Well, I'm an orphan. My parents died, my mother was killed when some cannibals attacked this place, and my father tried to hunt a leviathan. I've been a street urchin since 2 years now. I think I'm 16 now, so why are you hiring yourself out? I'm tired of this town and the dirty looks everyone gives me. I just want to go, explore, fight, all that jazz. Yeah, I hate this place. So many bad memories. I stole this gear so that maybe someone like you would come along and hire me. Oh, you stole that. Maybe I should report you. Listen, I don't care anymore. Just pay me 3 cats every day and take me with you. I just want to go. And with that, for an astonishing 3 cats, we gained the recruit Yunomi. And she had pretty low stats on just about everything. Nothing impressive. But now that Blacktooth and Zula were healed, they could go back to mining the copper, as Blacktooth would need to amass some money first if he wanted to get new recruits. In the meantime though, Yunomi would have to train up her strength, as she was pretty low when compared to the other people in the team. So heading from one side of a hub to the other, we'd do the classic running around strength train method. Placing in an ore storage for the iron ore, getting glass to buy the iron plates from a bar, and then building the storage crate, we would then be able to mine iron as well as copper. The next few days would basically be spent mining and Yunomi running back and forth in the mayhem of a hub. On a bright side though, we were getting money and we were getting stats up. Selling a lot of goods would get us about 10k to 20k just about every couple days. And after grabbing enough iron plates, we were able to finally finish the research bench. Also placing in a food storage, this would allow everyone to run there and grab food from it when they're hungry. Training her strength for the next few days, she'd also switch to training her stealth as well, as she was traveling at just about the same speed but gaining rapid stealth experience. By the end of it, she had pretty decent stats in stealth, athletics, and strength, at least when compared to our party. And selling the rest of the ore that the party had been collecting, this would net them 53k cats. Splurging out on different types of food, the food storage was looking pretty full, and Yunomi decided to go and look at some of the corpses that were outside. Since there was a lot of people around, and even with a high stealth skill, she couldn't be unseen. She'd pick up different people, bring them into the house, and then drop them. This would allow her to loot all of them for their gear without being seen by anyone or causing an alarm, until one person just would not be able to be picked up, and they had some pretty nice weapons on them, so she would take the risk of looting this trade ninja, and one person would attack her, but luckily she stood her own pretty well, cornering the outlaw into a wall and then knocking them out. Meanwhile, Blacktooth had also gone into a fight over at the mine. The white eyebrow ninjas had struck martial arts experts, terrifying, but Blacktooth wasn't taking shit and knocked him out easy. Picking up the backpack that we had dropped during the battle, Yunomi would go to a shop and carefully sell some of the goods that she had acquired. Anything from the trade ninjas she couldn't sell because they would have a high chance of knowing, but the paladin stuff was all fair game. Keeping the gear of the skeleton she had picked up though, she decided to repair it to increase her robotic skill and talk to it. Its name was Skeleton Fox, and said that it just needs 6,000 cats and it would join our party. With the approval of Blacktooth, Skeleton Fox would join the group, and once given back the armor that Yunomi had grabbed while he was unconscious, he would make his way to the iron ore node to help Glass and Okuro mine some ore, and with that we had our first skeleton party member. In the meantime, Yunomi would research better training dummies and weight training bench. This way, everybody would be able to get their melee attack up to level 10 and strength up to level 50, and would eliminate the need of walking back and forth between the town. Blacktooth would also pass word to buy a longhouse, that way that they could put the new training equipment they were researching in that property. The only problem though was building materials were pretty scarce, and it would probably take a few days to get that building constructed. Placing down a weight bench inside of the storm house we already had, we needed 4 iron plates and 2 steel bars. This wouldn't be too much though, and Yunomi would be able to find all this stuff within the hub. And with that, we now had a weight training bench. It'll be able to train our strength up to level 50, to which afterwards we'll have to find other means to train it, but it'll save a lot of time from walking back and forth with rock. Now I'd switch Yunomi to go mine and Skeleton Fox to train his strength up, and even our people that were mining would gradually get strength experience as they were carrying ore, as well as some of them had backpacks on that weighed 50 kilos each. Everybody's stats would be going up, and with our newest recruit Skeleton Fox training up his strength, soon everybody would be looking a little bit better off. Wanting to get our dexterity up though, I try to pick up a Holy Chosen and bring him into the house, to which I realized we didn't research anything for beds yet, so we couldn't craft any beds or make any. We could put the Holy Chosen person into a bed, have him heal up really fast, and continuously fight him, so making researching beds a priority. But once trying to place in a bed, we'd learned that we needed some building materials and fabric. Building material, not too hard to come across, but fabric, a fucking bitch. Even when going to the bar outside of a hub, it was useless as they had no fabric there either. Even asking a trader, he didn't have any either. Outside of that bar though, there were some knocked out people, and trying to train his attack up, it would raise an alarm and cause a trade ninja to come out of the bar and start fighting him. Skeleton Fox had pretty good stats and could take quite a few hits, but could not deal many, and it would require Yunomi abandoning her job for the meantime to coming over and repair him. On the bright side though, near the end of the night, we had finally gotten enough building materials to build the longhouse, but with a lack of materials from the hub, we would be forced to stay inside of a storm house for the most part, when suddenly Blacktooth and Zula were both attacked by white eyebrow ninjas. Running back to the hub gate from the copper ore node, they would both rush and try to look for safety, but following them to the gate, and with there being little to no guards, the white eyebrows would take down Blacktooth at first, and then focus on Zula while Blacktooth tried to get back up. Things were looking down though, as Blacktooth only hit the white eyebrow one time, while he was able to knock out both Zula and Blacktooth. After which though, a trade ninja jumped in and immediately knocked him out. Blacktooth would go back to the bar and rest, not lying on the bed correctly, and then having a stroke through the floor. He would just have to put up with it, but he needed to figure a way to fix the problem that he was dealing with. Him and his party were way too weak and couldn't do anything. Getting some type of base set up would be very unlikely and most probably just lead to their deaths. And with most of his people just mining, it would be pretty boring for them, and they were getting kind of sick of it too. So Blacktooth decided the very next day that they would be heading to Squin, just a little bit south of the hub, looking for a Shek warrior. The Sheks are supposed to be really strong and have great stats. Blacktooth would assemble him, Zula, and Skeleton Fox into a new group and leave the hub temporarily to go to Squin to grab a new recruit, as well as any materials that they could also get to bring back to the hub. And with that, they were on their way to Squin. Never have gone to Squin though, they didn't know what was to expect, but luckily there wasn't too much danger. Any bandit groups were surely not on this path, and it would allow our group to travel safely over to Squin. Immediately at the gates, a Shek passing by says, "First our city falls, next we welcome the 10-man with open arms. What next?" The Sheks are very discriminatory people, and once getting into the city, it is impressive by the amount of stuff there is, but Blacktooth knew shops closed soon and he would need to be fast. Heading over to the equipment store first, they were harassed by a shek that would follow them, referring to him and Zula as flatskins and weak. But on the bright side, they did have fabrics. As well as at the traveler's shop, we grabbed a couple backpacks, along with a bunch of maps. Once looking at the maps, Blacktooth now had a lot more locations on his world map to see, and also grabbing building materials and steel bars to make new strength training benches, as well as whatever farming goods he could find. That way they could soon begin to research farming. The three would only have one other mission left to accomplish. That would be to go and find a new recruit. First, Blacktooth talks to a man named Zerkit. "I'm running a bit dry here. Want to buy me another grog? Sure, drinks are on me. 50 cats. You ever heard of the blood bandits?" Blacktooth replies, "I haven't, no. These guys aren't just your standard bandit. These guys are sick in the head if they don't stop at stealing your loot, or killing you for that matter. No amount of grog is gonna help me wipe out these nightmares." "What did they do to you?" "I got a job guarding a caravan. Should have been a straightforward journey. But then the raid started as we set up camp for the night. They picked a couple of us out. They made us kill our own comrades, fights to the death. At first we refused, but then they started the torture. It was a living hell." Blacktooth replies, "Those animals need putting down." "Yeah, they do, but they're not the kind of enemy you want to lose to either." Maybe eventually Blacktooth would find some blood bandits and take action against them, but right now he was way too weak to find them. Looking at the tables for a shek recruit though, the strongest one appeared to be a shek female named Rain the Giant. "You a warrior, Flatskin?" "I know how to handle myself in a fight." A tolerable answer. "Need an extra blade?" "Rain the Giant, pure shek warrior, 7,500 cats. Are you in, Flatskin?" 7,500 cats? Seems a little steep. "You want a premium fighter of a mighty shek blood? You must pay the price tag." "Got any skills?" "You'll find no better ally in battle than a shek warrior, Flatskin, and I am one of the best of the land." With that kind of sales pitch, I don't know, there's no way Blacktooth could say no. And with a new shek warrior on his team, him, Zula, Skeleton Fox, and Rain the Giant would make their way out of Squin, heading back to the hub. They had quite a bit of materials on them and needed to set up the longhouse, as Blacktooth knew that anyone could really knock them out at any time. His main goal right now would be to get a few people and get them strong, as once he had a few strong units, he could then start recruit weaker ones. And with that, they run off into the desert.